As a young boy living in Mexico City, Oscar was inculcated to work hard. He watched his father teach his older brothers how to cook. When he reached the right age, his father taught him little by little the teachings of how to make tamales that was passed down before by his grandfather. Oscar's father went from having a small stand to owning a business. With the little money that they earned, they were able to buy what is known as a tamales tricycle to be able to transport his food. Oscar saw the struggles that his parents went through every day in life, from waking up early in the morning to having to stand outside on cold, rainy days. As Oscar grew older, his mind was set to one day owning his business thanks to his parents and the everyday struggles. Learning to cook tamales from his father is what drove Oscar to pursue a career in the restaurant industry. It wasn't an easy journey, but Oscar's tenacity and passion for food meant there was nothing that could keep him from his dreams. Oscar, being the youngest of 4 boys, eventually reached the age where he wanted a good life for himself. He immigrated as a young 18-year-old boy to America to pursue what is known as the American dream. It was not an easy transition for him, but that did not stop him from reaching his goal. He started working as a dishwasher at some of the best restaurants on the East Side, where he expanded his cooking knowledge. He would finish washing dishes so he could help the prep cooks and chefs for him to learn something new every day. It was a struggle for him at one point, since he hadn't yet learned English. He knew that if he wanted to make a better life for himself, he had to enroll in school. Taking small steps is what helped him eventually go from being a dishwasher to a lead cook. After working in several restaurants and different jobs, he learned how to provide customers with quality food and exceptional service by combining his Mexican roots. Oscar realized that he wanted to be his own boss. He started his own business by selling at the farmers markets. At first, it was a struggle being approved. He would go every weekend with his daughter and ask the managers if they would allow him to sell. It was a no after no. Eventually, the person in charge of the market saw how persistent he was and gave him the opportunity. He knew that he wanted to be different from the other vendors. He built from scratch his own trompo al pastor that he brought along with his stand. Since he was the first one to use a trompo at the farmers markets, he had to work together with King County Health Department to make sure he had all the right requirements needed to make his own rotated spinning vertical machine to be able to sell his famous al pastor meat. Oscar, little by little, was moving up. He went from permanently selling at the farmers markets to selling at festivals on Cinco de Mayo and on the 16th of September, or any celebrated day that was hosted by one of the most heard radio stations. As things started looking up, the 2008 financial crisis shocked the country. Thankfully, Oscar was quick on his feet and knew that he needed to find the next opportunity. He started catering events and selling authentic Mexican street tacos outside of nightclubs. He would bring his stand and wait for people to come and buy his tasteful tacos al pastor. Everything was great for him when one day, because of his lack of business knowledge, he was shut down. They told him he could not sell with a food stand and that if he wanted to sell his food, he needed to get a food truck. That was the push Oscar needed to grow his business. He used whatever money he had and had to borrow money to buy a rundown food truck, which he painstakingly repaired himself. He still faced financial issues early on, but that was not going to stop him from bringing wonderful, authentic Mexican food to the American market. While Oscar chased his dream and continued building his business from scratch, his wife was working as a banker. Out of nowhere, Oscar's wife lost her job. Instead of pushing Oscar to find stable work, his wife decided that it was time for both to go all in on this business. It turned out that his wife's business-focused mind was the perfect ingredient to add to Oscar's cooking knowledge to create a recipe for success. They both set their minds on learning how to make the business grow. Now, Oscar's food truck, Taqueria Los Chilangos, is a well-known purveyor of exquisite, authentic Mexican street food. His unique taste and recipes passed down to him by his family mean that people keep coming back for more. He brings love and all 5 of his senses into every dish to make sure his customers are receiving the best of the best. Los Chilangos started as a dream from a humble young boy who proved that with devotion to a craft and with support from your family, that any dream can be reality.